Tonight on To The Point.
It's demeaning and it's threatening.
Election threats. Just days before the election, what local candidates say they're dealing with on the campaign trail.
It's been nearly 180 days since we've seen this much rain and snow in the forecast, tracking those weather impact days ahead, new timing and totals.
Plus, an ardent taco shop robbed at gunpoint. Tonight, the calls for the community to help search for the person involved. And later, it's harvest season. We head to Sonoma County to see how cannabis is grown. Good evening. As always, thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. We'll get to those stories in just a minute. But first tonight, our weather team is tracking rain and snow moving into Northern California. So let's go ahead and bring in Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods joining us now. And Monica, the weather team is calling for a weather impact alert day, not just tonight, but into tomorrow, right?
Right. As we start to track two waves of wet weather. Tonight, we see wave number 1 moving through. And then Friday night through Saturday is wave number 2. That one much wetter, but rain, snow, will all equal travel impacts, so monitoring the forecast can keep you ahead of these changing weather conditions. Low pressure system off the coast is already driving some rain showers inland here, as you can see throughout Northern California. This is what's due in overnight tonight, but a quick mover here as we head into tomorrow for Halloween. We're actually starting to dry things out, but the key factor here, it's going to stay cold. Temperatures dropping into the 50s as we're heading out to do that trick-or-treating sunset just after 6 o'clock. So here's a look at the band of rain moving through for tonight. And as I said, it's a quick mover by tomorrow morning's commute. Already out of here, but lingering snow showers through the early morning. Then we start tracking that next wetter weather system for Friday, Alex.
All right, Monica, thank you. Let's turn to the race for the White House now. There is less than a week left to cast your ballot in the November election. Both presidential candidates today are crisscrossing the country, each holding multiple rallies in battleground states. Trump and Harris both visiting Wisconsin and North Carolina. Harris also hitting Pennsylvania in the final sprint. The Trump campaign today is seizing on President Biden's comment last night. Biden reacted to an insult made at Trump's rally over the weekend when a comedian called Puerto Rico an island of garbage. The White House has called Biden's comment a misunderstanding.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
My supporters are far higher quality than Crooked Joe or Lion Kamala. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple. You can't lead America if you don't love Americans.
Kamala Harris also responded to the comments, saying, quote, she strongly disagrees with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. And former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger has joined the growing list of Republicans endorsing the Democratic presidential ticket. In a lengthy post on social media, Arnold says in part, quote, I want to move forward as a country. And even though I have plenty of disagreements with their platform, I think the only way to do that is with Harris and Walz. A candidate for Folsom City Council is considering whether to press charges after she received a threatening voicemail from someone who was angry about her campaign material. ABC 10's Becca Habegger spoke with her today and one of her opponents who has also been the target of hurtful rhetoric.
Signs of the seasons, Halloween and the election, line this Folsom neighborhood in City Council District 4.
Good to see you, thanks.
Barbara Leary is running for this city council seat, precinct walking, talking with voters and getting her name out there.
It's my favorite part of campaigning because I really like talking to people and finding out what their concerns are.
But last week, she received a voicemail from someone upset that one of Leary's volunteers had left campaign material on his doorstep. She played the message for me.
Hey, Barbara Leary, you ever come trespassing or your people come trespassing on my property, leak your political garbage here again, I will personally bring it over to you and pound it where the sun don't shine. And that's not a threat. That's a promise.
Oh my gosh, how did you feel when you heard that?
Well, it was shocking. I mean, it really was a threat of violence.
She reported it to Folsom Police, who confirmed to ABC 10 they're investigating the threat. Leary says police were able to identify the man based on his phone number, and an investigator spoke with him.
That person told him that he knew it was a mistake to have left that message and that he had no plan to proceed with any kind of violence or other contact with me.
Still shaken from the message, Leary says hateful rhetoric in politics seems more common than it used to be. And sadly, Leary's not alone in experiencing harassment on the campaign trail.
I've been called that, go back to your country.
Gul Khan is also running for the District 4 seat. He says Folsom is a welcoming, diverse community, and he has only received racist, anti-immigrant comments while running for office.
They don't represent Folsom. They don't represent our society. Our society has been very hospitable, very diverse, very inclusive.
He and Leary are continuing to campaign in these final days before the election. In Folsom, Becca Habiger, ABC 10.
The third candidate, Jim Ortega, declined an interview, but in a statement, he said that he has not received any threats or racist remarks, though he has told ABC 10 that there have been lies about him, which he has ignored. Tonight, Sacramento police are investigating after an employee at Chando's Tacos was pistol whipped during a violent robbery. It happened Monday night at the business on Arden Way. The owner shared this surveillance video with us. A man can be seen pistol whipping the cashier, grabbing the cash register, and then ran away. Sacramento police tell us that other taquerias in Sacramento were robbed last night, and they are investigating if there is a connection to this case. Police had this message to the suspect.
This coward used a firearm and struck a female employee twice in the head. And so to the person that did this, I hope you're watching, and I hope you do the right thing and turn yourself in.
Police say this person could be facing armed robbery and felony assault charges. Of course, anyone with information is asked to contact police. Several cities across the state are at the center of an ATM heist. Federal officials say it started in January when a group of 10, mostly Chilean nationals, broke into an ATM vault at a Houston bank. Between June and September, they allegedly went on a crime tour of California, renting Airbnbs across the state while scouting out and eventually breaking into the vaults and nearly a dozen ATMs, including in Roseville, Yuba City, Rockland, and Elk Grove. The FBI says this is still an active case and they are still working to arrest some targets. Others will be in court on November 6th in Fresno. New tonight in the Menendez brothers case, the Los Angeles district attorney says that he will support clemency. It comes a week after announcing his recommendation to resentence the brothers for the 1989 murders of their parents. The DA says he will send a letter of support to the governor today. The brothers' first resentencing hearing is set for late November. Another is set for early December. Still ahead onto the point, it is harvest season here in California. We head out to Sonoma County to see how cannabis is grown and what growers are advocating for. Welcome back. The holiday spirit has made its way to Sacramento. Today, the Christmas tree was delivered to the Capitol. And Monica, it comes as we're starting to get some of that winter weather here.
Yes, we certainly are.
I'm so excited. Christmas is my favorite holiday, so I can't wait.
Well, we're going to be tracking those weather impact alert days for the next couple of days, and snow is included. In those alert days, we can already start to see the presence of that first wave of moisture moving on the coast, with rain and snow already impacting parts of California. Winter weather advisory goes into place tonight. It extends through tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's just going to be with wave number 1. Highs today close to 70 up and down the valley, 60s along the coast, and for the foothills at close to 50 for the Sierra. Again, first wave moves in overnight tonight. Quick mover, it's out of here by the morning commute for the valley. A few lingering snow showers for the Sierra. Good news here is that we actually have a dry Halloween forecast. Then the bigger rain moves in. Now this could actually impact Friday night football and any sporting events late Friday. Heaviest rain comes in overnight with the chance of thunderstorms. As we head into our Saturday, things start to dry out for the valley, but the snow lingers in the Sierra through the early afternoon. Rainfall totals from our first system, only about 1/4 of an inch, but we'll get closer to 1/2 an inch of rain coming in Friday through Saturday. And as for snow totals, about 1 inch to 2 inches Wednesday night through Thursday morning. Friday through Saturday, closer to 1 to 12 inches of snow. That's going to be significant and beneficial moisture coming in. Highs in the 40s for the Sierra tomorrow, 50s and 60s for the foothills, with 60s along the coast, and we'll keep those 60s inland. It's going to be one of those chilly days for our Halloween. Hopefully have some layering available for that costume. On and off rain showers and snow showers for the Sierra and the foothills, at least through the early part of the weekend. We'll keep those highs in the 60s along the coast. Weather impact alert early tomorrow, dry for the afternoon for Halloween, and then we also pick up the opportunity for rain, heavy at times overnight Friday through early Saturday. Everything after that is going to be drying out as we head into next week. Highs back near 70.
Still ahead onto the point, answering your election questions. Tonight we look into what could happen to our prison population if Prop 36 is passed. plus cannabis harvesting. We head out to Sonoma County to see the growing process. We all know Sonoma County is known around the world for its wine, but that grape-friendly Sonoma climate is also great for another well-known California crop. Here's meteorologist Brendan Minchef with the details.
Sonoma County. For many people, Sonoma conjures up images of rolling hills, world-class vineyards, and weekend wine tasting getaways. However, there's more than just grapes being grown here.
There are some new rules and regulations around the corner, which is going to create more public access to these farms, potentially retail sales. Sonoma County is headed in a quite progressive direction as it relates to cannabis and tourism.
Sonoma County has a great climate for growing grapes, but it's also a great climate for cannabis. The warm, dry summers, cool overnights, and late start to the rainy season means in the fall, you can end up with a field like this.
It's got its challenges like growing cannabis anywhere.
Eric Pearson is a cannabis grower in Sonoma County and CEO of Spark. He's grown cannabis in California for more than a decade.
You know, this year's been great. You know, it's been extremely dry, a little bit hotter than we like, but with that we get drier evenings and drier mornings, and that results in less mold pressure, and that results in us letting the flowers fully mature, which it's those last week or so that really you count on to really get a ripe fruit.
Like most things grown in Sonoma, occasional fog, molds, and temperature swings pose natural challenges to the cannabis crop. And in recent years, the heat has become more of a concern.
It's just hotter. We've never had 102. It's not great for the flower production, but at least if it's hot, it's not wet, typically.
Temperature plays a part in the color and taste of the cannabis. Extended periods of heat mellow out the flavor.
Well, here's a nice purple one here. That's kind of pretty there. I don't know if that's too far away. This one back here.
And you want that color, right?
Yeah, people like purple. Well, they'll be picky sometimes. There's too purple and I want it. It's hard to please people sometimes.
With the calendar approaching November and the nights getting cooler, the harvest is in full swing. And following a great growing season, there's a lot of work to be done.
And so what we're doing right now is we're getting all of our cannabis hung dry. So we have these awesome racks that we're able to double stack, and we have this amazing facility that we're able to actually control all the temperatures and variables.
Max Bowen also grows cannabis in Sonoma, which he says is the best place to grow. Watching the harvest come in from the fields, it's easy to see why.
This is freshly cut off the plant. We cut it to size of the bins so it fits exactly on the hangers as we need it to maximize every square inch. And when we're in here, a lot of the workers are able to spot issues maybe we didn't catch in the field. This is gonna be probably a 10 to 12 hour day. We actually hand trim everything, whereas a lot of people will use machines.
Once cannabis is trimmed and hung, it's moved to huge drying rooms on site.
We aim to get the moisture content of this plant down to 50% within as quick as we can, really, to stop any molds that may be hanging out. And then after we get it down to 50%, we ease back the system a little bit to let it dry slower, so we get a better cure. Preserves more of the terpenes, which is what creates the smell of the cannabis.
During my visit, this room smelled the most like cannabis. Plants in the field had that distinctive smell, but it was more amplified in this confined space. And Eric tells me that's a good thing.
You trim it, you put it into a bag, and then when you open that bag, you want it to still smell. As you get further down the process and closer to the bag, it gets more and more challenging to preserve that nose. The consumer wants that smell, whether it be something more along the lines of like a diesel or fuel, or something more tropical like a lime or a lemon.
The cannabis will stay in this room for 10 to 14 days. From here, it gets trimmed and shipped to Santa Rosa to be produced and packaged. If it passes strict safety testing, it'll be shipped to dispensaries across the state. If it doesn't pass, they have to discard the entire batch.
We have such stringent testing that it's down to the parts per billion in the plants. And if we even tried to use something, it would come up in a test and we'd have to throw it away. One of the biggest issues a lot of farmers here in Sonoma County have gone up against is when they're next to vineyards. The stuff that are neighboring the fences all start testing dirty. It's a real problem.
But the weather and vineyard pesticides aren't the only challenges these growers face.
We're working with our county government right now to make changes in the ordinance. We have a canopy tax here that's charged locally. I think it's like $35,000 an acre. It was twice that for outdoor. We've got that reduced significantly last year.
Eric and Max say unlike cannabis farmers, grape growers face far fewer taxes in Sonoma County and have extensive subsidies, giving wineries in Sonoma a competitive economic edge.
Why would you want to tax your businesses a whole bunch in your county and make them less competitive on a state level? When I have a cultivation tax I have to pay here, I have to pass that through on the product that I sell, and I'm selling my product up and down the state of California. That means my product, when it gets to LA, is going to cost more money than that product coming from a county that doesn't have a cultivation tax, right?
Eric says reducing taxes is a relatively easy change that would help immediately.
Not necessarily politically easy to do, but in theory, an easy law to change.
Another element of cannabis law Eric would like to see changed regards tourism, being able to invite the public to the farms. That's something not currently allowed under county law.
You've got your people watching TV, think this is interesting. Allow me to be able to say, you know what, you can come on up and take a look at it, you know? And you can buy cannabis from our little farm stand here. You can come out, you can have a nice afternoon and do your thing. That would be hugely beneficial to us.
And we reached out to Sonoma County about what they are doing to help cannabis growers. They said in a statement, part quote, the County of Sonoma is committed to supporting the legal cannabis industry and has been proactive in working to establish a regulatory framework for the legal cannabis market that is consistent with state law and build on input from both the public and industry stakeholders. They say since 2021, they launched a review of their cannabis program, amended cannabis business tax rates, and awarded grant funding to eligible operators impacted by the war on drugs. And you can read their full statement right now on abc10.com. Make sure you stay with us. We're back after this short break and we're answering your election questions, so you don't want to miss it. You already know ABC 10 is working to connect you with the information that you need to vote in the upcoming election. Our team is taking your questions and getting you answers. Here's reporter Brandon Ritteman.
We got a question about Prop 36. As we explained in our series of videos, Prop 36 would upgrade some drug and theft crimes from misdemeanors to felonies. That means longer sentences for convicts to be served in state prisons instead of county jails. Our question came from an anonymous person who's clearly got doubts about this plan. They asked, should Prop 36 pass and consequently the prison population explodes, where will the funding to cover the $147,000 a year per additional inmate come from? First, I'm not exactly sure where that number comes from, but it's not too far off. $133,000 a year is the cost to house an inmate, according to state analysts. The cost includes all the health care and security and the overhead for the prisons. As for the prison population exploding, the state's nonpartisan fiscal analyst did make a forecast on that. California's prison population today is about 90,000 inmates. If Prop 36 were to pass, they tell us, the prison population could increase by a few thousand people at a taxpayer cost ranging from several tens of millions of dollars to the low hundreds of millions of dollars each year. That's less than 0.5% of the state general fund budget. And to answer the question about how that would be paid for, Prop 36 would need to be paid for by factoring it into the state budget in future years. We cannot tell you how future legislatures would do that, but they would have to balance it with either cuts or revenue of some kind. That's because Prop 36 comes with no new taxes and no plan at all to raise the money to pay for housing the additional inmates. Thanks so much for the question and happy voting.
We've gotten some great questions. So if you have questions of your own, send them to us right now. You can head over to abc10.com/vote. There you will find our survey and you can let us know what questions you have about voting or the election. We'll do our best to answer them. As always, thank you so much for watching and for inviting us into your home. If you have something that we should be looking into, reach out to me and the team. And don't forget, To the Point does not end here. If you want to watch our stories, make sure you download our free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you stream.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. What's super exciting, I know you care about high school sports. You'll never find a more comprehensive guide and team dedicated to high school sports. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.
Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.